Inside the Duggar family drama, Stephen's lawsuit against Jana. The Duggar family has never been strangers to headlines, but few stories have carried the level of shock, speculation, and heartbreak as the news that Stephen, the husband of Jana Duggar, has filed a lawsuit against her. For years, Jana had been seen as the calm, steady presence in the Duggar household, the sister who stayed behind when her siblings married young, the daughter who carried responsibilities with quiet resilience, and the woman fans often called the glue that held the sprawling family together. When she finally married Stephen, it seemed like a long-awaited new chapter, a chance for Jana to step into a life of her own. But now that life has taken a dramatic turn, and the unfolding legal battle is raising difficult questions not only about Jana and Stephen, but also about the state of the Duggar family itself. The lawsuit itself has stunned observers. Stephen, once portrayed as devoted and reliable, is now taking legal action against his own wife, a move that has immediately fueled speculation about the nature of their relationship and what could have driven him to such an extreme. While the exact details of the legal filing remain sealed from public disclosure, sources close to the family have suggested it could involve disputes over finances, property ownership, or even allegations of betrayal and misconduct. Whatever the specifics, the very act of the husband suing his wife has rattled those who once saw the couple as a picture of quiet devotion. It is not only a deeply personal crisis but also one that threatens to fracture a family already known for its struggles to maintain unity under the public eye. Jana's reaction to the lawsuit has so far been silence, a decision consistent with her long history of avoiding the spotlight and keeping her private life guarded. But silence has not stopped speculation. Supporters wonder if she is being pressured into keeping quiet by family members determined to minimize public fallout, while others see her lack of response as a strategic choice, a way of letting the legal process speak for itself. Either way, the absence of Jana's voice has left room for countless theories, and with each passing day, the online conversation grows more frenzied. For Stephen, the lawsuit represents a radical departure from the image he once cultivated. He was seen as calm, patient, and faith-driven, the kind of partner many thought suited Jana's personality perfectly. Their public appearances together had been understated but affectionate, marked by the quiet confidence of two people who seemed comfortable in each other's presence. Now, by pursuing legal action, Stephen has shattered that image, and the shift has sparked outrage, confusion, and division even among the Duggars themselves. Some siblings are said to be supportive of Stephen, believing that he must have strong reasons for such a drastic step, while others are outraged that he would take private marital disputes into a courtroom, especially knowing how heavily scrutinized their family already is. Michelle Duggar has reportedly taken Jana's side, heartbroken that her eldest daughter is facing such a trial after so many years of patient service to the family. Friends close to Michelle say she has been deeply emotional, spending long hours in prayer and urging her daughter to stand firm. Jim Bob, however, is said to be far more conflicted, torn between protecting his family's public image and supporting his daughter in a painful conflict. His focus on reputation has already created tension in the past, and now, as rumors swirl of his frustration with how messy this lawsuit could become, whispers of division between him and Michelle have resurfaced. Jana's siblings, meanwhile, have reacted in ways that reflect their own complicated journeys. Jill and Ginger, who have in recent years publicly distanced themselves from the Duggar family's strict traditions, are said to be outspokenly supportive of Jana. Both have privately encouraged her to prioritize her own well-being and not to let family pressure dictate how she responds to Stephen's legal claims. Jessa, ever the peacemaker, has tried to remain neutral, quietly hoping the situation can be resolved without further escalation. Jana, who has had a close relationship with Stephen in the past, is rumored to be more sympathetic to his side, creating the possibility of a rift between her and Jana. Even the younger siblings, some too young to fully understand the intricacies of the legal battle, are sensing the tension and asking questions, adding another layer of heartbreak to an already heavy situation. For fans who have followed the Duggar family for years, this development feels both shocking and strangely inevitable. Jana had long been the subject of speculation, her prolonged singleness often questioned and her choices scrutinized. When she finally married Stephen, it was seen as the culmination of years of patience, the long-awaited reward for a woman who had given so much of herself to others. To see that marriage now reduced to court filings and legal disputes feels like a cruel twist of fate, a confirmation that even the most seemingly stable members of the family are not immune to conflict and collapse. Online communities have exploded with discussion, prayer requests, and debates. Supporters of Jana have expressed outrage at Stephen, accusing him of betrayal and cruelty for taking such drastic measures against his own wife. Many describe Jana as a woman who has already sacrificed too much for her family and who deserves peace, not courtroom drama. Others, however, caution that the full story is not yet known and that it is possible Stephen is acting out of desperation, frustration, or even self-defense against accusations we may never fully understand. The polarized conversation mirrors the broader cultural divisions that have always surrounded the Duggar family: faith versus independence, tradition versus modernity, family loyalty versus personal happiness. The emotional toll on Jana cannot be overstated. For a woman who has spent her entire adult life in the public eye yet remained private about her own struggles, being forced into a legal dispute with her husband represents a profound challenge. Those close to her describe her as exhausted but resilient, leaning heavily on her faith as she tries to navigate a situation she never imagined. She has reportedly sought counsel from trusted friends outside the family, people who can offer perspective without the weight of Duggar expectations. These confidants describe her as torn between a desire to protect her marriage and a recognition that some battles cannot be ignored or quietly endured. The lawsuit has also raised questions about the Duggar family's future. Once portrayed as a model of unity and unwavering faith, the family has increasingly been fractured by scandals, controversies, and differing paths taken by its children. Stephen's lawsuit against Jana may become the latest and most painful crack in that facade, a sign that the bonds holding the family together are weaker than they appear. It forces uncomfortable questions. What does loyalty mean when a husband takes his wife to court? What does unity mean when siblings find themselves on opposite sides of a dispute? And what does faith look like when it collides with legal proceedings, financial disputes, and public humiliation? As the case moves forward, the Duggars are bracing for more public scrutiny. Media outlets have already begun dissecting the situation, speculating on the possible outcomes and what they might mean for the family's future. Some predict a bitter and drawn-out legal battle that will leave both Jana and Stephen scarred. Others hold out hope for reconciliation, believing that the couple's faith and shared history could still lead them back to one another. But for now, reconciliation feels distant, and the focus remains on the courtroom, where every filing and every appearance will be closely watched. The story of Jana and Stephen is no longer just about a marriage. It is about the collision of public image and private pain, the challenge of balancing loyalty with self-preservation, and the ways in which even the most devout and seemingly united families can find themselves torn apart by conflict. For Jana, the road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear. This lawsuit has become more than just a legal proceeding. It is a defining moment in her life, a test of her strength, her resilience, and her ability to find her voice in the face of overwhelming pressure. And as the Duggar family gathers around her, or in some cases, fails to, the world will be watching, waiting to see not just how the legal battle plays out, but how it reshapes the legacy of a family that has always lived on the fault line between faith and fracture.